It boasts over 250 million users in more than 150 countries. 300,000 of the youngsters who access it are here in Britain. Now Channel 4 News can reveal that the children's online gaming site Habbo Hotel is inhabited by paedophiles. It amounts, says one critic, to a children's brothel. Investigating the site over a period of months, this programme has discovered that users, some as young as 9, are bombarded by explicit chat and regularly propositioned to strip and perform sexual acts on webcams. Following our revelations, one of the company's biggest multi-million-pound investors has pulled out. And be warned, Porrick O'Brien's report contains sexually explicit and offensive language.
You probably haven't heard of Habbo Hotel. Your kids probably have, though. Chances are they're some of the 250 million members of the site around the world. It's a global gathering place, basically, where young teenagers go to chat and make friends. Channel 4 News asked 2 of the world's biggest names in online safety to go in and play the game.
This is completely wrong. This should not be happening. Any parent who sees this will make sure their kids are not going on Habbo Hotel.
They adopted the cutesy cartoon personas just like children do. They heard and saw things there just like children do.
It was unbelievable, honestly. It was like, I just couldn't believe what I saw.
According to its owners, it's the largest online community for teenagers in the world. There are nearly 300,000 users in the UK, and it makes millions for its owners, a Finnish company called Sulaki. It's a giant internet chat room, basically. You can adopt a persona or avatar and wander around from room to room, talking to other avatars. You can create your own room. How does the company make its money? You can purchase furniture to put in your room. Habbo gaming cards are available to buy for a tenner in WH Smith's and Tesco's. The card gives you credit to spend on the site. It has bright lights, teddy bears, balloons, and it has extreme violent sexual chat.
It was people saying that they were going to do things to other people or to themselves.
Our producer spent 2 months playing the game. She described herself on the site as an 11-year-old. This was her first exchange.
People were having sex with me without my permission or, doing things to me without my permission. So both in public, men would come up to me and say that they were doing all these sorts of things to me in my body without me asking. But
so the little avatar would walk up to your avatar and say...
Yeah, and say, hello, I'm grabbing your breasts, I'm doing this to you, I'm having sex with you, and now I'm leaving you.
We can't broadcast the more violent sexual chat. Within minutes of that first exchange, Rachel was being asked to check out of Habbo Hotel and make direct one-to-one contact.
Initially, do you have a webcam? Are you on MSN? Are you on Skype? I was being asked to strip, to get fully naked. What would I do on a webcam? Would I send photos of myself over email?
She played the game 50 times in total. This was her experience every time.
So, John, I'm going to log in to Habbo Hotel.
My turn. I was joined by John Carr, though. He advises the UK government and the European Union on online safety. For both of us, it was our first time on the site.
In we go. Go get new friends. Friend request from Dirty Boy.
Let's see what he's got to say.
Can I ask you what your body's like?
Yeah. Well, a moderator should be jumping in about now, because it's not hard to see which way this is going.
The game says you have to be 13 to play, but younger children have told us they use it too.
So for the purposes of this, we'll say that I'm 11, okay? Now this is worrying, this next message, because he says, do you want to chat on MSN or Skype?
11-year-old, MSN, Skype, Dirty Boy. You don't need to be Einstein to work out what this is about. There should be the equivalent of the virtual fire brigade jumping in on this, and it's not happening.
And then he immediately comes back, you like older guys, question mark.
This is completely wrong. This should not be happening.
Are we in danger, though, of whipping up something of a sort of moral panic about this sort of thing?
If I was the parent of an 11-year-old girl on a chat room like this, I'd want there to be a moral panic. What I've just seen makes me think this is a dangerous place for youngsters to be.
5 rules for teen product.
The chief executive of Sulaki, the company that owns the website, disagrees. This is Paul Fontaine addressing a conference entitled Engaging Teenagers. He wouldn't be interviewed, but sent us a statement.
Any online community that allows users to assume virtual identities may be open to abuses, which is why we work hard to keep users safe, filtering content and blocking inappropriate users, tracking some 70 million lines of conversation globally every day on a 24/7 basis.
He went on to say that they discourage users from moving off the site onto Skype and MSN. Maybe the inappropriate chat we came across is just young teenage fantasists getting cheap kicks. But maybe it's not. Matthew Leonard pretended to be a teenager. He befriended a girl on Habbo Hotel. He said he'd buy her furniture. Matthew Leonard was, in fact, in his early 20s.
The two then spoke on MSN, and that then led further that he asked her to show herself naked via webcam, which the girl did. He captured images of that, which he later used to get the girl to commit further sexual acts for him via webcam. Following Matthew Leonard's arrest for that offence, it transpired that the girl was not the only child victim. We traced over 80 victims. The youngest was 10 and the eldest was 14.
He was sentenced to 7 years. Then there was Alex Nicholson, recently jailed for 2 years after sex offences against boys he met on Habbo Hotel. That's 2 convicted paedophiles, 82 children. And it all started on Habbo Hotel. No one wants the whole virtual world regulated. That said, as a society, we expect environments that children play in to be safe. To that end, the industry, with the help of the Home Office, produced this document. It's a safety standard, basically, for children online. And in it, the industry agrees to do everything practicable to make children's websites safe. In other words, whatever systems you put in place to moderate your site, it has to work. Ex-employees of the company have told us that they've outsourced the moderation team abroad and that the financial squeeze is on to make sure they process call for help reports quickly. Mechanics aside, is moderation at Habbo working? According to one of the biggest names in online moderation, no. Rebecca Newton is in charge of online safety at the giant children's game Moshi Monsters. It's for much younger children and is not in direct competition with Habbo Hotel. We asked her to go in.
It was like a giant room full of people, kids, who knows how old, having cyber sex. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable, honestly. It was like, I just couldn't believe what I saw.
And this coming from someone who has seen a lot.
I've seen a lot. You wouldn't believe some of the things I've seen. But I'd never seen that before, just whole rooms. It was just like this giant brothel.
Like, what does that say to you?
That says to me that nobody's minding the children. Nobody's watching the shop.
Today, what's happening on this company's website went all real world. As a result of our investigation, one of the website's biggest investors decided to check out of Habbo Hotel.
Parag O'Brien reporting, and he's with me now. Parag, you've visited the site all day. What's going on?
Well, to be honest, it's just another day on Habbo Hotel. What you can see here behind us is what we filmed from the site just before we came to air. And it is so graphic, we can't show you it, basically. And this is typical. What really struck me was that within minutes of going onto this site, you were really bombarded with this thing. It happened virtually instantly.
And what is the company that owns Habbo Hotel saying?
Well, Sulaki's reaction to our investigation has, shall we say, evolved over the last few days. It started quite routine a few days ago, and then we got this quite personal outpouring, basically, from the chief executive. He says, I was incredibly concerned to see this report and to hear about the findings of the Channel 4 News investigation. As a parent, I understand the critical importance of making sure teenagers and young people have a safe online experience. I was sorry to hear of Balderton's decision to withdraw its involvement. That's the investor. We'll come to that in a moment. But my priority right now is to address the issues raised by the investigation. Since hearing about the report, I've asked my team to tighten security across the site and to strengthen the user rules.
Well, now you mentioned the investor pulling out, and it's a multi-million-pound investment. What do you know about that?
Well, today we found out that Balderton Capital, which is a huge investment house, withdrew a 13% stake in Sulaki. On Thursday night, the board of Sulaki met, and Balderton have a seat on that board. And the letter detailing what we have found out in our investigation was discussed at that board meeting. An insider told us that the investor considered that Sulaki weren't taking the allegations seriously enough, therefore pulled the money. Now that's significant because, as far as we understand, this is the first time that has happened in the corporate world to do with issues around children's safety online. And I suppose previously it was the preserve of the police, children's safety online, or government departments, or concerned mums and dads gathered around school gates. But now it has gone off like a nuclear bomb in the boardroom, hitting a company, a huge company, where it really hurts in its pocket.
Porrick O'Brien. Now, if that has left you worried about your child's safety on the internet, John Carr, the web safety advisor you saw in the report, is available now to answer your questions. You can talk to him via the Channel 4 News Facebook page, which you can find via our website at channel4.com/news. Krishna.